family home burns. Next day, a representative of the insurance company arrives, clipboards in hand, surveying the damage. Weeks later, a check arrives. Exact amount, no quibbles. Covering full rebuilding costs plus personal effects. A few months on, the house is rebuilt, better than before. The family moves back in, secure in the knowledge that come rain or shine, windstorm, flood, or fire, they know their protector will be there. That moment of relief, that promise kept in a time of crisis, doesn't happen by accident. It is the endpoint of a vast, invisible architecture of financial resilience. A system designed to ensure that when the worst happens, the safety net is strong enough to hold. For the European insurance industry, that system is called Solvency II. It is the most significant regulatory revolution in a generation, a complex symphony of risk and capital that every actuary, every finance professional, and every policyholder should understand. Back to the video. Now, many insurers were already well capitalized, some even exceeding Solvency I requirements. But with Solvency II, it's not just about having enough capital. It's about having the right kind of capital that matches the risks you're undertaking. Imagine a building. You wouldn't build a 2-story house with the same materials as a 5-story skyscraper. Why? Because the materials need to match the risks involved. In the same way, Solvency II matches your capital to the specific risks of your insurance policies. So it's not just about having enough capital. It's about having the right type of capital. Here's a quick history lesson. For decades, the insurance world ran on a simple principle known as Solvency I. It calculated the safety capital a company needed based on the volume of its business, utterly blind to the actual risks it was taking. A company investing in risky assets was treated the same as one with a conservative portfolio. It was a blunt instrument. It was a system that punished prudence and ignored reality. This glaring inadequacy sparked a revolution. European policymakers embarked on a 15-year journey to build something smarter, more robust, and infinitely more sophisticated. Their creation was Solvency II, a framework built not on volume but on a single, powerful idea that the capital an insurer holds must be directly proportional to the risks it undertakes. This approach fundamentally changed how insurance companies are regulated and operated. So how does Solvency II actually work? Well, let's start with the basics. Solvency II is built on a foundation of robust reporting and a deep understanding of risk. At the heart of this regime lies the famous 3-pillar structure. Pillar 1 provides the mathematical rigor, the hard numbers for capital and valuation. Pillar 2 mandates the governance, the systems, the controls, the culture of risk management. And Pillar 3 demands transparency, forcing sunlight onto the balance sheet through public disclosure. Together, they form a holistic shield, protecting policyholders by making the entire financial system more resilient. Now, to navigate Solvency II, we must first learn its language. It begins with the economic balance sheet, a radical concept where everything is valued at its true market-consistent worth. This isn't historical accounting. It's a snapshot of what everything is genuinely worth right now. On the liability side, we find the technical provisions. This is the total money set aside today to cover all future promises. It's split into 2 parts. The first is the best estimate liability, an unbiased, probability-weighted forecast of all future claims, discounted back to today's value using a risk-free rate. It's the most accurate prediction possible. But the future is uncertain, so we add a second part, the risk margin. This is an extra layer of security, representing the cost for another insurer to take on these obligations if this one fails. It is, essentially, the price of certainty. Opposing these liabilities are the assets, valued at their current market price. The difference between these 2 sides reveals the company's true net worth, known as its own funds. This is the financial buffer, the real money that backs up all its promises. This buffer is tiered, with Tier 1 capital being the purest, highest quality equity in other tiers, including instruments like subordinated debt. Now, how big does this buffer need to be? Solvency II defines 2 crucial thresholds. The solvency capital requirement, or SCR, is the main defense line. It's the capital required to survive a cataclysmic 1 in 200-year event. Falling below this triggers intense supervisory scrutiny. Then there is the absolute red line, the minimum capital requirement, or MCR. Breaching this is a dire emergency, likely leading to the withdrawal of the company's license to operate. But Solvency II understands that numbers alone are not enough. This is where the soul of the framework resides. The Own Risk and Solvency Assessment, or ORSI, this is not a mere regulatory formality. It is the company's mandatory introspective self-health check. It's a continuous process where the company must look into the future, stress test its strategy, and prove to itself and its regulator that it truly understands its risks and has the capital and management to withstand them. This may sound daunting, but it's essential for building a resilient insurance business. In essence, Solvency II mandates a forward-looking approach. It requires insurers to assess not only their current financial position, but also their ability to navigate potential future challenges. This shift from a backward-looking to a forward-looking approach is one of the most significant contributions of the Solvency II framework. However, Solvency II isn't without its critics. Some argue that the regime is overly complex, leading to high compliance costs. Others claim that the focus on capital requirements stifles innovation and business growth. Yet, despite these challenges, Solvency II has proven its worth time and again. It has helped the insurance sector navigate through major events like the 2008 financial crisis and the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And that brings us to the present day. Today, Solvency II stands as a beacon of robust risk management, reminding us that in an unpredictable world, foresight and prudence are the best insurance. But what about the future of Solvency II? Like any dynamic system, it continues to evolve. Challenges such as climate change, digital disruption, and geopolitical uncertainties are constantly shaping its future trajectory. For instance, climate change is forcing insurers to rethink traditional risk models, incorporating scenarios that account for extreme weather events and long-term shifts in climate patterns. Similarly, the rise of InsurTech is prompting discussions on how to regulate innovative insurance products and distribution models while maintaining consumer protection and financial stability. One of the key features of Solvency II is its emphasis on the own risk and solvency assessment, or ORSA. The ORSA requires insurance companies to conduct an annual assessment of their overall risk profile and solvency position, taking into account both quantitative and qualitative factors. A robust ORSA involves several key steps, starting with setting the risk appetite, which is essentially the company's tolerance for risk. This is a strategic decision that should be aligned with the insurer's overall business objectives and should be communicated clearly to all levels of the organization. Next, companies must identify and assess their risks, which involves conducting a comprehensive review of all potential risks that could affect the company's solvency and financial stability. This includes market risks, credit risks, operational risks, and insurance risks, among others. Once risks are identified and assessed, companies must develop mitigation strategies to address the most significant risks and monitor and control less significant risks. These strategies should include both preventive measures to reduce the likelihood of risk, materialization, and detective measures to identify and correct problems when they arise. The ORSA process should also involve a robust governance structure with clear responsibilities and accountabilities. This includes regular reporting to the board of directors, who should oversee the entire process and ensure that the company's risk profile remains within the defined risk appetite. Overall, a robust ORSA process helps insurance companies to improve their risk management practices, enhance their financial stability, and build greater confidence among stakeholders. By regularly assessing and managing their risks, insurers can better protect themselves against potential threats and ensure that they have the necessary resources in place to meet their financial obligations. In conclusion, Solvency II has revolutionized the insurance industry, transforming it from a sector focused on mere compliance to one that embraces a culture of robust risk management. As the industry evolves, so too will the Solvency II regime, ensuring that insurance companies remain resilient and prepared for whatever challenges the future may hold. Remember, in a world where risks are ever evolving, it's not enough to simply weather the storm. We must also ensure that we're investing in solutions that protect not just our businesses, but the trust and security of our customers. Thank you for watching.